Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that logo! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host Victor Nunley, and I am Comic Hero. Coming to you from Southern Realms Comics and Games here in Ruston, Louisiana. And folks, not only is it Cinco de Mayo, it's Free Comic Book Day. Now, 60 years ago, a comic book store owner and a columnist decided to start this around the time of the beginning of, around the time the release of Spider-Man came out. Now, this is a Spider-Man movie that starred Tobey Maguire and was directed by Sam Raimi. And he thought it'd be a good idea to give away free comics. Now this is usually the first Saturday in May, although one year, it was actually in the first Saturday in July. But they did away with that, and they decided to bring it back to the first Saturday in May, and that's where it's been ever since. And I would say that I'm going to get my fill on free comics, but that stays the obvious. Oh, you're probably wondering why I'm looking down. That's only because of J.J. Gunter here. He's the son of James and Jennifer Gunter, the owners of Southern Realms Comics and Games. Say hi, everyone, J.J. Okay, if you want a camera time, then you have to say hi to everyone on YouTube. But anyway, that's JJ for you. You never know what he's gonna do. But anyway, it's time to give away a free T-shirt. All right, last week's episode, I asked, which branch of the U.S. military did the John Stewart Green Lantern serve? Well, the correct answer is Marines. And 17 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their names have been entered in the drawing for a free tee, and that drawing takes place right now. So, the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Jesse Salinas from Sterlington, Louisiana. So congratulations, Jesse. You win yourself a free comic book. All right. Here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a Superman question. What is the name of the god that Kryptonians worshipped? Everyone who answers correctly will be in a drawing for a free tee in next week's episode of the show. Now, Caleb Hansen from Monroe, Louisiana has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and this one features a lot of lightning because it's the fastest man alive against the God of Thunder. Representing DC, we have the Flash, and representing Marvel, we have Thor. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's the Flash versus Thor. The Flash possesses immense superhuman speed, agility and stamina, electrokinesis, body vibration to phase through objects, time travel, and dimensional travel via cosmic treadmill, and time and speed force manipulation. Thor possesses superhuman strength, speed, durability, and longevity. With Mjolnir, he possesses dimensional transportation, electric manipulation, flight, and weather manipulation. Who would win? Get ready for a fast and furious fight. The Flash would dodge most of Thor's attacks. Thor would then attempt to strike Flash with a douse of lightning, but the latter would vibrate his body so fast that the lightning would pass right through him. The Flash would then storm at Thor and deliver a series of warp speed punches. Thor replies, "How dare you, mortal! I'm the Prince of Asgard and you dare strike me!" Flash then runs circles around Thor, opening up the Speed Force and sends him right through it. The Flash wins. But wait! This proves to be temporary when Thor, via Mjolnir, escapes the Speed Force and gets back in the fight. He then absorbs the Flash's powers and hurls Mjolnir at him at full force. He then says, "Paraphrasing a dearly departed friend, I guess you didn't see that coming." Thor wins. That concludes this fight. on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that fight. And if you have fight requests for future episodes, contact info is down there.
No!
All right, then it's time for Comically Speaking. So without further ado, let's talk comics! All right, there are two things we're going to talk about in this segment of Comically Speaking. The first one, it's been revealed the characters that are going to be in Captain Marvel, at least some of the main characters in it. And in the lead role, of course, Carol Danvers in Captain Marvel is going to be played by Brie Larson. Marvel, who in the comics was the first who was Captain Marvel long before Carol Danvers was, is going to be played by Jude Law. And then Nick Fury is going to be in. Of course, he's going to be played by Samuel L. Jackson. And then Agent Phil Coulson will be in it. Of course, he's played by Clark Gregg, who also plays him on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then Ronan the Accuser will be in it. He's going to be played by Lee Pace. Now, Lee Pace previously played Ronan the Accuser in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And then Karath, played by Jamon Honsu, is also going to be in. Now, he was also in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. And then Min Irva will be played by Gemma Chan. Now, Min Irva in the comics is Marvel's wife. And then the Skrulls. Now, it hasn't really been speculated as to who's going to play the Skrulls, but this will be the first time that the Skrulls will make their debut in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, one thing about the Skrulls, though, they both Marvel Studios and 20th Century Fox have joint, I call it joint custody of those characters. Now, the reason I say that is because you have to remember, the Skrulls, when you think of the Skrulls, you really think of Fantastic Four. But it's just saying that the Skrulls are going to be there. The Super Skrull will not be in Captain Marvel because that would make a lot of sense, because Super Skrull has the powers of all four members of the Fantastic Four. Now, there also have been some actors and actresses that have been casted, but their roles have not been determined yet. All right, and the second thing. All right, Star Wars Episode 9. Now, that's still far away from now. There's been a disturbance in the Force, and when I mean disturbance, I'm talking about Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Now, a lot of folks didn't really like the stuff that Rian Johnson wrote. Keep in mind, Johnson wrote and directed Star Wars Episode 8. He wrote that. He wrote and directed. And one thing that a lot of folks didn't like was the fact that Finn and Rey were not together until the very end of the movie. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Finn and Rey are to the Star Wars movies now what Han Solo and Princess Leia were to the first three. Let's just be real. And for Johnson just to separate them like that doesn't really make a lot of sense. But I have some good news. Rian Johnson will not be directing Episode 9. Instead, J.J. Abrams is returning to the helm. And you know, you can't, I mean, it's kind of hard not to like J.J. Abrams. I mean, he did a great job with The Force Awakens. He did a great job with Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness. And then he's also created two awesome shows that were both on ABC, and I'm talking about Alias and Lost. I mean, the guy's a great creator, great director. I mean, he can do it all. And most certainly didn't disappoint with The Force Awakens, so I can't wait for Episode 9 to come out. All right, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now then, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, there's a lot of books that I'm buying, so I'm not going to give a brief description, but I'm just going to let you know what they are. First, I'm going to start off with the books I'm getting for free. First up is Avengers Free Comic Book Day.
And then that's right.
And Transformers Unicron Free Comic Book Day.
And then,
all right, now here's the books that I'm actually buying. First off, DC Nation #0.
Yep. You're right. Because and Spider-Man, the movie.
Green Lanterns number 46.
Father was the Green Goblin.
X-Men Gold number 27.
Spider-Man 2. Peter Parker lost his powers and stuff, and then they got him back.
Action Comics Special.
Almost toward the ending of Spider-Man 2, and then that's how he became Spider-Man 2.
Invincible Iron Man number 598.
And then they made Spider-Man 3, and I believe that Spider-Man 3 was the season finale.
Invincible Iron Man number 599.
Again with Andrew McCarthy.
No,
It was before Tobey Maguire played Spider-Man.
yeah, and then the very,
Exiles number 2.
very first Spider-Man who was this Spider-Man was that dude who played Robocop. The guy that was doing
Despicable
Robocop.
Deadpool number 298.
The movie Robocop.
Yeah, I was trying to think who played. What the name of the actor was.
Despicable Deadpool number 299.
I think there was one in the 70s.
Yeah, that was the Sunday version.
Detective Comics number 977.
Can't think of his name either. I remember
There was that,
played one they had Captain America with the clear shield.
yeah, but
Detective Comics number 978.
the one from the 70s was the Sunday version. Was the Sunday version.
Detective Comics number 979.
I want to say, I think it was probably go on Friday, Sunday version.
Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps number 43.
Go on Sunday Friday. Good. I keep up with
Wonder Woman number 45.
every once in a while.
Yeah.
Because we're going to see months again. I try to keep up with them most I
Teen
can.
Titans number 19. Batman number 46.
And this building is like right down the road from that old one store.
X-Men Blue number
Down this
26.
way. Take the long one all the way down there and you right down the road by the old one store. No, I'm just saying, you go all down
Flash
this
number
way,
45.
take that next road down, and you got the old one store.
So excited about this book. The Avengers number 1.
You right that one.
Freebill, I'm sorry.
Because
I said the wrong term.
yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of cards with this.
Spider-Man number 236. Spider-Man number 237. Spider-Man number 238. Spider-Man number 239. And finally, Spider-Man number 240. All right, that's 26, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 8,659.
Y'all do the fellowship.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free key for next week's episode of the show. What is the name of the god that the Kryptonians worship? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tea in next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Jesse Salinas from Sterlington, Louisiana, who won a free tea in this week's episode. All right, it's birthday time here on the Comic Hero Show, and happy birthday to Kidzella Reddick, Dr. Xanthi Seals, Robert Johnson, Barrett Brown, Zandra Ashley, Matt Green Jr., Taylor Grant, Bubba McKenzie, Brandon Allen, McKenna Javingo, Cody Williams, Jessica Stampley, Seth Green, and a very special happy 8th birthday to the son of the professor, Patrick Harris. And also happy 5th wedding anniversary to my friends Kelly and Quinn Wall. All right, I hope y'all came to a comic book store nearby, and you hope you get your fill on free books. I did, always do. I do it every year. And really excited to do this show. I'm really excited about doing next week's episode. I'm going to be over at the Houghton branch of the Bossier Parish Library in Houghton, Louisiana. We're having our first annual comic book day. So if you're interested, come on by and dress up. Because guess what? Whoever dresses the best, you win a free Comic Hero tee on me. All right, I'm Victor Dudley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 213 at the Houghton branch of the Bossier Parish Library in Houghton, Louisiana. So till then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and happy Cinco de Mayo and free comic book day, everyone.